Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a great kingdom. This kingdom was known far and wide for its beauty and prosperity, a place where the sun always seemed to shine a little brighter and the rivers flowed a little clearer. The ruler of this kingdom was a king admired by all for his wisdom. He was not just a figurehead, but a beacon of knowledge and fairness. The people called him the wise king because he was knowledgeable and fair in all matters. His decisions were always just, and his words were always measured. Yet, despite his reputation, the wise king felt a restlessness within his heart. He often found himself staring out of the window, lost in thought, pondering the deeper questions of life. Every day, he pondered, what is true wisdom? He sought an answer that eluded him, something beyond the knowledge he had accumulated over the years. One day, the king decided to host a grand feast in his palace. He believed that perhaps among his people, someone might hold the key to the wisdom he sought. The entire kingdom was invited. The streets buzzed with excitement as people prepared for the grand event, hoping to catch a glimpse of the king and partake in the festivities. In the middle of the celebration, the king stood up and made an announcement. "I am searching for the wisest person in my kingdom." His voice echoed through the hall, capturing everyone's attention. "Who can teach me what wisdom truly is?" The crowd murmured in curiosity, each person wondering if they held the answer the king sought. "Whoever gives me the best answer will be greatly rewarded." The promise of a reward sparked excitement, and many began to think deeply about what they would say. First, the palace scholars lined up to speak, delivering long speeches about wisdom. Some quoted from books, while others cited philosophers. They spoke of ancient texts and great thinkers, hoping to impress the king with their knowledge. But none of their answers satisfied the wise king. He listened patiently, but his heart remained restless, unsatisfied by their words. Finally, from the crowd, a small shepherd boy raised his hand. His presence was humble, yet there was a quiet confidence in his eyes. His clothes were torn, and his feet were bare. He was a stark contrast to the scholars and nobles around him. Everyone looked at him in astonishment, but the wise king approached him with curiosity and asked, "What do you think, little shepherd?" The king's voice was gentle, encouraging the boy to speak. The boy smiled shyly and replied, "Your Majesty, wisdom is knowing oneself." His words were simple yet profound. If we do not know ourselves, how can we know what we truly seek? The boy's eyes shone with sincerity, and his words resonated deeply with the king. These words struck the king like a bolt of lightning. He felt a sudden clarity, as if a veil had been lifted from his eyes. He gazed into the shepherd's eyes and felt a deep sense of joy. It was as if he had found a missing piece of himself. "This is the answer I have been searching for," he exclaimed. His voice was filled with excitement and relief. He rewarded the little shepherd, gave him a place in the palace, and asked him, "Where did you learn these words?" The king was eager to know more about the boy's wisdom. The shepherd boy smiled and said, "I learned them by listening to myself, Your Majesty, by listening to nature, the stars, and the voice within me." The boy's voice was calm and serene, reflecting the peace he had found within himself. Because the deepest wisdom lies within ourselves. His words were a reminder that true wisdom comes from within, not from external sources. From that day on, the wise king embarked on long journeys to know himself better and always advised his people to first know themselves. He traveled far and wide, seeking to understand the depths of his own soul. Thus, the kingdom grew stronger by discovering the true meaning of wisdom. The people followed the king's example, and the kingdom flourished like never before. And so, the story ends here, but it is truly just the beginning. The journey of self-discovery is a lifelong quest, one that brings endless rewards. Knowing oneself is true wisdom. It is a lesson that transcends time and place, a truth that remains relevant through the ages. Both children and adults should first listen to their inner voice and know themselves to fully grasp the wisdom life offers. By doing so, they will find peace, purpose, and true happiness.